Love it. Awesome, guys. Welcome. And I have the privilege of introducing today's very, very special guest speaker. I still don't know how we got blessed to line this one up, but we did. And I appreciate all of you being here. I have the privilege of introducing our field president, Mr. Bobby Smith. This gentleman has not only become a friend of mine, he is a mentor. He is currently the #1 recruiter in the entire company. Hope everyone's sitting down for this stat. He averages a personal recruit a day. Anybody here would be like change their lives to have 30 new people join your business this month? Like absolute goat. I text him that every single morning. He's probably getting tired of it, but he is coming on today to train us on how to properly launch a brand new seller, right? This is all about duplication. It's about speed. It's about everything. And there is no one more qualified to deliver this content than Mr. Bobby Smith. I'll turn it over to you, sir.
Thank you, brother. And what you and your team, Chris, and the team here are doing is absolutely amazing. So if you want to start the deck, we will absolutely roll this. So folks, I bring you this training today. Really, this is fun for me. This is passion for me because as some of you may or may not know, I had a background in direct sales in network marketing. I was in medical education. I got a phone call one day or I met with one of my plastic surgery clients, and it's a long story, but I just had a couple kids. And she just had a couple kids. And it was just, she introduced me to direct sales, and I got involved in network marketing. And this is what I went from. Maybe some of you are new in the direct sales industry, and Powur's not that the average direct sales company, because you can make a great 6 or multiple 6-figure income just by selling the product, right? So whether you want to build a team or not is completely optional, right? But for those that want to build a team, and I would hold your questions till the end of the chat. We'll talk about all this at the end. I found out very quickly, when I started my career in direct sales, I treated it different than some people treat it. And I invited 5 of the most successful people that I knew. They were already making $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 a year. Some of them were in between, this or that. I brought them to my kitchen table. And I had my sponsor, my mentor, come in and present to them. And I think 4 of those 5 people were responsible for the 50,000 clients that I had in 11 countries. I got the pleasure of opening up London and Amsterdam and traveling around the world. Great friends, unique lifestyle, hanging out with my kids every day. And a lot of it came from the private business launch that I had at my kitchen table to put together my board of directors. So why don't we talk about that? So, if you choose to build a team, again, this is just for the folks that want to build a team. If you want to have a bigger impact on the world, if you want to create a passive income, we have people now have created a 6-figure monthly passive income. That's pretty cool. So if you want to do that, I believe that the private business launch is one of the key strategies to do that. And that's what we're going to talk to you about. So what is the private business launch? So it's right now in the world that we're living in. When I was in the direct sales industry at the beginning, I was in a different living room almost every night of the week. That's the price that I paid. If people think I present well now, or I have some skill sets now, it's because I learned how to present in different living rooms every night of the week, and I learned how to do that in a very cool fashion. Sit down, chill, cross your legs, sit back, put everybody at ease, and share with them what you're doing and why you're doing it, and all kinds of different folks. Now, in the world we live in today, it's a different world. So it's very easy to do a launch on Zoom, or for all of you who maybe have been in for 3 months or 6 months or whatever, you can relaunch your business via Zoom, via a private business launch. I used to call it the private business reception, the PBR back in the day. I trained it all over the world. The first time I presented in front of a big audience, I presented in front of, I think it was over 10,000 people, I think in the Richmond Coliseum or something like that. So, but here's the point. If you were going to open any if you were opening a medical practice, a real estate firm, a car dealership, a hair salon, a restaurant, wouldn't you have a launch? Would you rather start it and wait for people to trickle in, or would you rather launch that sucker and blow it up? And I'm just a big believer in why start something when you can launch something. And I think one of the biggest challenges when people get into a direct sales company or any secondary position, if they already have a job, they maybe don't treat it. They don't treat it we always used to say my former company was $500 to join, that we wish it was $5,000 to join or $50,000 to join, because then people would take it as seriously as they would if they only invested $99, right? So if you truly want to start, this is the way to do it. So why do you do it, right? Well, you want to put your goal together. I always believe in a board of directors. So just like I did when I first started my career, just what I did when I first started building Power, you want to get together the best group of people that you can before someone else does, because a small group of people, one person, can literally change the course of your life. And this is the best way to get to them as fast as you possibly can. So, and I'm always curious, if someone is who they say they are, right? I'm me. There's no reason why they shouldn't, but every single person, what is the argument against a process that doesn't cost anything, that saves everybody time, that allows you to build your business quicker? What would be the counter argument? Why I don't want to do that? In the old days, if you brought them in the living room, there was this little Amway conversation, or maybe I don't want to do that, or maybe I don't want people in my house, or my wife and I don't get along, or the cat's dirty, or whatever it may be. On a Zoom, what? I'm always curious if somebody can tell me why they don't want to do this. Why should you do it now? Well, because I'm going to recruit your parents. I'm going to get your girlfriend. I'll get your kids. I promise you. No, I'm kidding. Why do you want? Because every single, folks, there is no greater pain. There really isn't, than watching someone join Power and you waited to talk to them because you thought they were too this or too that. They had too much money. They were too poor. They weren't talented. They couldn't sell. They were in a non-solar market, blah, blah, blah. Every moment you wait, everybody is going to hear about this. We're not going to be the best kept secret in the world in solar forever. That's going to change. When you're the fastest growing solar company in the world, eventually everybody's going to figure out what you're doing, right? They're going to want to be a part of it, right? Everybody you have to go on this premise, is going to hear about our company. They're either going to hear it from you, or they're going to hear it from someone else around the country. They're going to hear it on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. They are going to find out about this. And you just have to make a decision whether you want that to be you or you want that to be someone else. So please don't waste a minute. Share it with everybody you know. And remember that just the value proposition of what we're doing here. Anyone can do this. We've seen everyone from every walk of life. It doesn't matter what shape, size, color, solar experience. I have no solar experience. Our host today had no solar experience, right? I was running a nonprofit cancer foundation before this, right? So let's talk about not only why Power makes so much sense, but why does the private launch make so much sense, right? Anybody can do this, the launch. It's free. It's time efficient. It's cost effective. And again, duplication, as you know, in direct sales is the number one thing. So we'll talk about what can happen if you do this right. And again, this is the school. This is kind of that early school set. If you develop presenters, remember, developing presenters is really the scorecard. The reason I made a lot of money in direct sales, the reason I was able to spend every day with my kids, the reason I was able to coach every sport my kids ever played, the reason I've been able to have the kind of relationship I've had with my wife, is because I developed presenters, the people that were speaking when I wasn't speaking. So it's not about you. You want to be a presenter, but if you're new in Power and you're looking to build a team, the biggest mistake I think that people make is they wait till they get there and then they want to find these people that can do what they do. No, hell no. What I did that was different than most people do, and I maybe wasn't even sure about it in the beginning about why or how I was doing it, it was just intuitive, is those 5 people that were at my kitchen table 20 feet away from me, and I heard about the opportunity 10 feet that way. The whole thing happened right here. I lost my train of thought. Where were we? I was excited about that.
Developing presenters
is those, I'm sorry, those 4 or 5 people right in there were speaking in front of rooms within 30 days. So I had people leading their own businesses, running their own presentations, doing their own thing immediately. I didn't wait till I figured it out. I didn't wait till I got good at it for them to start doing it. It was never about me. I didn't want it to be about me. I wanted to be about them. I wanted to become invisible. I wanted to be a guy on the beach that nobody even knew. Remember that Bobby Smith guy? Yeah, there was a rumor he used to be at this company. Yes, that's what you're looking to be. The guy that used to be here, the gal that used to be here, right? So it's also a very important part of a national marketing strategy. I have people right now that want to build in Puerto Rico. Well, great. And they talked about flying there and go, no, you don't go to a market. You don't fly to, you can fly to an island anytime you want. There are worse places to go than Puerto Rico. But when you're building nationally, and that's up to you, again, I always thought nationally, I wanted to own the country. And you can own whatever city, whatever state in power you want to own. And if you're going to own cities and you're going to own state, and when we go international, if you want to own countries, and that sounds weird to people. Jonathan Bernasso and Chris Bernasso pulled me aside when we were getting ready to do the hike a couple weeks ago in California. And they said, you were talking about this shit for 2 years, owning cities and overriding cities. And we had no idea what we were talking about. We thought you were making it up. And here, 2, 3 years now down the road, making ridiculous incomes, winning cars, and owning cities, buying multiple houses, and overriding California and Nevada and this market and that. You got to decide if you want to own a city or own a state. It depends how big you want to play. That's up to you. But this is real, folks. I talk to people about it all the time. So if you're looking to build a new market, or launch a new city or launch a new state, in my opinion, before you ever travel, which is a big important part of the game as well, you've got to do a Zoom. You've got to do a series of Zooms. If I was launching Puerto Rico right now, I would take my one person, have a Zoom. And we'll talk about this, have 5, 10 people on there. I get my board of directors, and then do another one. Let's dig into it a little bit. So it's just a great strategy for all these things. I get excited about this. Obviously, a Zoom can be the easiest way to do it, right? And if you want to do it in the living room, if your market warrants that, then God bless. The backyard, poolside, Gigi likes to do the poolside, stuff. A restaurant, we used to do them in restaurants, but you want to stay away from costs. This doesn't have to cost anything, or country club, so you can do whatever you want to do. But in the world we live in, Zoom is just, it's free, it's easy, right? Like we're doing this today. So if I were new in Powur and I was launching my business, right, and putting my board of directors together, right, it depends how you want to treat your business, how you want to talk about it, how you want to think about it, right? I would select a date. If I joined today, I'd pick a date a week from this Sunday. I'd pick next Sunday. It would give me 2 weeks to build. Check out for local events, right? If the National Football League's best team, the Ravens, are playing that night, you probably wouldn't want to go up against the Ravens, right? So if your local town, if your team is being featured on Sunday night, don't go up against that, right? Be careful what you go up against, right? So make sure there's nothing there, holidays, whatever it may be. Go through your solar training. You're doing that as you speak. I like 10 days to 2 weeks again. I love Sunday night. I love Sunday night at 8 o'clock local time, because America is done with their weekend. They are miserable about going to work the next day. It's your sweet spot, right? But you can do it anytime. You can do it at 3 o'clock in the afternoon for a handful of people. There's no rules, right? So the leader will assist you. So for a new person, if you bring them in, they don't have to do anything. You just got to teach them how to be great at inviting and confirming. They're going to assist you in booking it, the execution. They're going to be doing all the speaking. Again, there's no reason why a new person wouldn't want to do it. Their fears or trepidations about speaking out the window. They don't know anything. It doesn't matter. They're not proficient in solar. Who cares? It doesn't matter, because their leader, their mentor, their guide is going to do all that with them. So they would plan their presentation with you, or you would plan your presentation with the leaders on here tonight, and discuss your roles and responsibilities. You'll adapt the presentation, with local slides. So you're going to change a couple slides. You're using the Monday night presentation. You're just shortening it up a bit. You're making it more folksy, more personal, and you're focusing on the 1 or 2 or 3 markets on these private business launches. Predominantly, 90% of people are going to be from one market, 80%. And let me be clear, up until this point, 99% of people who join Powur do not do a private launch. I have failed miserably. I'm the worst, right? No one listens to me, right? But the people that do this, they never look back. It's just, And again, we'll talk about that a little bit more. So you'll focus on the local market as well. You're going to make a list. I believe every smart business person always makes a list, a written list. All the people you know, focus on your local market, but of course, any active market that we're in. Friends and family. Well, again, people always have reasons. I don't want to talk to my friends and family. Well, why wouldn't you, right? If you're proud of what you're doing, why wouldn't you want to share with them? Remember, if it's not them, you don't know who they know. And if you don't ask, you don't know. So why wouldn't you share it with every friend you have? Why wouldn't you share it with every family member? When I first joined my first direct sales company, my entire family turned me down. They told me I was crazy. People always tell you crazy. When I bought my first house, the house I'm in right now, I've been here for, everybody told me I was crazy. What are you going to do? What are you going to do in the winter? You know, where are you going to shop for food? Because I was out 5 miles away from the base where everybody lived. And now it's the valley and everybody wants to live here, right? But back then, no one even congratulated me. Every single person told me I was out of my mind. What are you doing out there? Remember, in direct sales, I was in the cell phone industry when people said nobody's ever going to use those things. I was on the forefront of launching pagers when they said no one's ever going to use those things. I was on the forefront when we launched internet and people said no one's ever going to use that thing. No cell phones, no internet. That's never going to work, right? If you buy people's opinion, you buy their paychecks, you buy their lifestyles, the hell with that. So you share it with everybody and you're not soliciting opinions. I don't give a shit what they think. Here's what I'm doing. Here's where I'm going. I know exactly where I'm going. Fake it till you make it. They can say whatever they want. If they want to join, great. If not, support what you're doing. Pray for you, help you. Talk to your neighbors, right? Why not, right? Let them know what you're doing. Current and former business contacts, everybody you possibly know. Obviously, there's people you want to go after. Every solar pro that you possibly can get to. Non-solar pros, right? Our company's half 2/3 non-solar pros. Anybody who knows how to sell can sell solar. This morning, I was on the phone with a gentleman in the mortgage broking business. I used to own a mortgage broker. I mean, really? They sell money for a living. What is solar? You're redirecting money for a living. Anybody who's touching the home or real estate, folks, I'll let you in on a little secret. This will date this presentation. But in October, we are going to do Power Career Week. And we're going to put together a venue and assets. Aaron and I have already talked about that. He was influential in my thinking. For all these areas, solar pros, non-solar pros, HVAC, roofing, insurance. So if I'm you, I'm starting to think like that now, if you're not already, right? Anybody that's calling on the home. You're going to invite these folks. It can be a blind copied email going out to everybody, one shot. You got to post on social media. Let everybody know what you're doing on Facebook and Instagram, wherever you go, right? Confirmations are always the key. This team is very well trained. I know you're great at that, right? And send a reminder the day of the event, even a text an hour before. Aaron texted me 5 minutes before this thing began, right? Here's a sample of an email that you could use. I'm sure this team could come up with something better. I think this was something basic that I grabbed. And again, this presentation will be available with you. Aaron already has it. So it's real simple, right? And also, let's be really, there's my family, there's my beautiful wife and my 2 children. That's my Facebook profile. If you haven't updated your profile, if it says that you're running a hair salon, if it says that you're looking for a new husband, whatever it may say, fix it, right? Make sure that your profile speaks to what you're doing. Make an announcement of your business on social media. There's a variety of options. I've decided to take a stand for clean energy. Build my business around purpose. Hit all your contacts. Send them a video. We're coming up with new videos all the time. I'm getting ready to cut a new video. Charles is going to a 15-minute Zoom, a short version of the hour presentation, and invite them to your private business launch. And of course, always use the next event, as we already discussed. Monday nights are a great thing to do. LinkedIn, same thing. I've built companies on LinkedIn. I don't know. I can't suggest to any of you, I do recruit about a person a day, typically Monday through Fridays. I take it off a little bit on the weekends. I'm doing some other stuff. I'm on LinkedIn every single morning. It's like workout. It's like prayer. It's like loving your spouse. There's no option. I get on there for about an hour in the morning, half an hour in the hour morning. If I'm on a hike, I'll go on there for a couple hours. I connect with 10, 20, 30 people a day. I also use a LinkedIn service that we have that you can pay for, separate thing. We have a company that we work with, an outsourced marketing company. We don't do anything on, but same thing on LinkedIn. I can't tell you how many people, probably someone here today, their LinkedIn profile does not reflect who you are or what you're doing. If it still references something about the company you work for, and again, I don't want you to break any rules or get in trouble with your boss or any of those things. You make your own discretion, but why would your profile reflect anything of where your passion is now focused, right? You have got to let people, you've got to have an updated profile. You're leading the national expansion. I'll tell you a quick story. When I had the private launch in my kitchen, I brought my sponsor in, my mentor. He presented the information. All 5 of them enrolled, and I was pissed. I grabbed him afterwards and I said, dude, where the hell do you get off telling my people that you're leading the national expansion for this company? He said, Bobby, I told them, he said, Bobby, I told them I'm leading the national expansion for this company because I said I am. Everybody else was saying they were a rep, they were doing this, they were doing that. He decided to say that he was leading the national expansion for the company. And guess what? He did. And guess what? I did. And guess what? We became the 2nd most profitable privately held company on the Inc. 500 list. Trump was our spokesperson, good or bad, right? So make sure your profile speaks to what you're doing. And I'm always amazed at people with LinkedIn that don't have their cell phone there and they don't have their email there. Like, really? You don't want people to be able to get a hold of you? I mean, come on. I had 3 conversations with folks from one of those companies I mentioned earlier this morning over the weekend. So again, the presentation, a couple minutes about you, why you're doing this, your passion, why as a homemaker, why as a stay-at-home mom, why as a real estate agent, why as a banker, why as a politician, why are you doing this, right? 2-3 minutes. Let the leader present a version of the Monday night deck, can be trimmed down a little bit. Local spotlight page or pages if necessary, and share your experience to date. You've been in there for a couple of weeks. Do you believe in the mission? How's the training look to you so far? How's the support? Is this a cool culture, right? Have you had any success? And again, you want to get some successes as quick as you can, right? Maybe you already submitted a lead. Maybe you already sponsored an individual. There's Melissa, right? So share something, do the presentation. At the end of it, there's only 3 ways this thing can go. In every presentation, they're in, let's go. They're out, who do you know? Who can you refer me to, right? Or they need more information, right? That's the only way it can go, right? So again, remember, no doesn't always mean no, right? It's like dating, right? It might just mean not now, right? Maybe they don't have the money and they can't even admit that they don't have $99, right? So it doesn't always mean no. So you're always following up. You're following up within 72 hours. I revisit. I've got people right now that are rejoining Powur. They've been out for weeks or months or years. I'm going to talk to a guy when we hang up. I think he wants back in Las Vegas, right? And when you do come back to people, how do you come back to them? I drip some industry news on them. Hey, here's what Powur just hit on the Inc. 500 list, right? Hey, President Biden just signed the bill. Are you aware that the solar renewable energy industry has gone through the roof, right? You want to continue to drip either exciting industry news or Powur news or your success. Wow, I can't believe it, man. I've been in this thing a couple months. I just got my first commission. It was $9,000 for an hour worth of work. What success are you going to join? Are you going to share with them, right? So the private business launch has proven to be successful. It just works, right? It's time effective. It's cost effective. It's a duplicatable strategy, not only to launch your business, but to create leadership and create presenters. If you wonder how you get up in front of the room, remember, I never presented publicly in my life. It started watching that gentleman do it. It started to be in living rooms every night, then in hotel rooms back in the day, as we have events today, then on Zooms, and then we didn't have Zoom back then. And then if you speak in front of, public speaking is the greatest fear in America. It's death, going to the dentist, and public speaking. I'm not even sure the order. I think public speaking is 1 or 2. How do you shake off those cobwebs? You learn how to do this. You do your testimonial on your private launch. You do part of one with someone else. You start to do little pieces of this, right? and you do it as fast as possible because the race is on, folks. We're in a very unique position right now, and there's no going back. I don't think any of us will ever be in this position again in the course of our lives. If you lock in this strategy, if you stay the course, if you work every single day towards that successful event, then you will succeed. And again, you will provide a pathway, for others to follow. I always start off, again, I come back to that person. If they are who they say they are, when people come at you, I'm me, I got this person, that person, I've been in it, I've 20 people in the mortgage business, blah, blah, I'm me. Okay, great. If you are you, I always say that, and I take them out of the equation. Hey, Jack, this has nothing to do with you, but when people tell me who they are, I always say, great. You want to launch your business? You want to put your board of directors together, right? What are you going to do? All right, let's pick a date and let's do this thing. Now, again, I'm not talking about you, but if they are who they say they are, they're going to want to have a launch party, just like every industry professional does in every single industry. If you're opening a restaurant, you're not looking to keep a secret, right? You want to blow that thing up as fast as you can. Okay. So that was fun. Do we want to stop the recording and go to Q&A?